Archaeologists have excavated the house of a wealthy and cultured man, who lived in the ancient Roman city of Pompeii, that was buried by ash and rock spewed by the volcanic eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. Mount Vesuvius, on the west coast of Italy, is the only active volcano in continental Europe, and is thought to be one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world. The eruption belched out a lethal combination of toxic sulfurous gas and hundreds of tons of volcanic ash that buried the cities of Pompeii, Oplontis, and Stabii overnight. Seismic activity from Vesuvius also triggered a deadly mudflow, wiping out the ancient city of Herculaneum. Conservation work is now underway, and new finds have been uncovered at a private house, known as the House of Jupiter in the Regio V part of the ancient city. The house was already partly excavated between the 18th and 19th centuries, but archaeologists have uncovered yet more frescoes and ornate remains that give us an insight into everyday life thousands of years ago. The 2,000-year-old works of art are in good condition, despite surviving one of the most devastating volcanic eruptions in written history. The name of the house comes from a small picture depicting Jupiter found on a shrine placed in the garden. It was believed to belong to a wealthy and educated man, and is decorated in First Roman style. The house has a central atrium surrounded by several decorated rooms with fake marble painted in bright shades of red, yellow and green. The rooms in the back, reserved for the family, had been restored with more contemporary decor, said the director of the Pompeii Archaeological Park, Massimo Osanna. Traces of fire were found in an adjacent house which had blackened the frescoed wall. Mr. Osanna told Italian news outlet ANSA, the domus had vintage decoration in the first Pompeian style. The owner must have been wealthy and cultured, aware of the value of painting. Mr. Osanna also said, the site is the largest excavation in the unexplored area of the ancient city in the post-war period. Within the walls of the ill-fated House of Jupiter, the archaeologists found an impressive array of terracotta lion heads, coins, glass objects and roof tiles emblazoned with trademarks. Scientists also excavated the area around the house, unearthing the nearby pavement and an adjacent alleyway. Mr. Osanna says the excavation project will continue until 2020. In the past few months, archaeologists have also excavated a street of houses with intact balconies that were also buried by the vast eruption. Some of the balconies even had amphorae, the conical-shaped terracotta vases that were used to hold wine and oil in ancient Roman times. The discovery has been hailed as a complete novelty. The Italian Culture Ministry hopes they can be restored and open to the public. The Culture Ministry's Pompeii Authority announced the discovery of the balconies back in May. It said the balconies were a complete novelty for this part of the buried city, which hasn't yet been fully excavated. Upper stores have seldom been found among the ruins of the ancient town, which was destroyed by an eruption of Vesuvius volcano and buried under up to 6 meters of ash and volcanic rubble. A statement said the balconies will be restored and the area included in a tour open to the public. This type of find is a novelty for this area of Pompeii, a spokesperson for the archaeological site said in a statement shared to social media. Almost 2,000 years from the eruption of 79 AD, Pompeii continues to give us treasures. Archaeologists found a series of buildings with 3 large balconies, in an area of Regio V which has been the focus of excavations. On one of the balconies we have also discovered toppled over wine amphorae, which were likely left out to dry in the sun, the team said. The balconies will be restored and included in an all-new visitor itinerary, which will connect Via di Nola with Vicolo del Nas d'Argento, they added. A series of buildings with 3 large balconies have emerged in an area now being excavated. On one of the balconies, pots of wine lying on their side were also found, which were probably put out to dry in the sun, the statement continued. Experts will now restore the houses, which will be open to the public as part of a new tour route at the popular site once the necessary work has been completed. Earlier this week, the ancient remains of a military horse that died 2,000 years ago in the inferno that obliterated Pompeii were discovered, thanks to the help of tomb raiders. Criminals had been using tunnels they dug to search for valuables in the ruins of a Roman villa, located in a suburb of the long-destroyed city. Their work prompted conservators of the UNESCO World Heritage Site to start their own digs, in order to put a stop to their activities and protect its remaining artifacts. Researchers used laser scanning to map a 200 feet long network of illegal tunnels dug by the robbers, and began excavating. They recreated the complete outline of the horse they discovered using plaster casting, the first time this has happened at the site. The remains of humans, mules, donkeys and other animals that were victims of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 78 AD have previously been restored using the technique.